So we're here with Mr. Zane Schweitzer himself.
Yeah.
Hawaii.
Hello, guys.
I know, as luck would have it, I ran into him in the lineup. So my question I had for Zane was, what's the #1 piece of advice that he would give suppers that are coming here to surf in Hawaii that maybe aren't familiar with the waters here?
Yeah, no, it's a great question, and I'm stoked you're asking it. You know, especially at a place like this, it's close to heart for me. Is where my first waves were caught as a young child, and
Lani Poco here.
Oh yeah, Lani Poco. Most Maui kids come to learn at a place like this, and so it's important when visitors come, no matter what craft you're on, surf or stand-up paddle, is to be able to, of course, respect the lineup. And just because we can be catching waves further out and more often, take the time to mix in with the lineup and not go too far out and be taking too many waves. Sharing is always something that's so important. You know, Duke Kahanamoku once said, you know, don't catch this one, let it go by. And that's kind of a famous quote he had, and it's always stuck with me as a respectful gesture, you know, to be able to, you know, even if a wave's coming right to you and you can totally catch it, you know, cheer on a young kid to catch it, you know, because at the end of the day, whether we like it or not, people are quicker to judge stand-up paddling in surf zones, especially in places like Hawaii. And so I always like to tell my friends, pros even as well, you know, like, be extra patient, have extra etiquette. You know, this is a place where people go by first impressions very strongly, and you could lose your respect in the lineup very quick. And so it's important to, you know, be extra polite when we have a paddle in our hands, especially in places like Hawaii.
Wow. That's well said, brother. Hey, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it, man.
Aloha. Have a great day. Yeah. Enjoy, you guys.
Hey, aloha. My name is Eric West. I'm about to catch a wave. I can't talk right now. I want to give you guys some tips when you're surfing in Hawaii on a stand-up board. Things that'll really make a big difference as far as not getting your ass kicked up out of the lineup by some locals. So you got to know the rules of engagement. The very first rule when you're about to hit a lineup in Hawaii on your SUP surf is you got to make sure it's a break where they allow people to SUP. And how do you figure that out? The best thing to do is to ask somebody. But there are certain breaks where SUPs are not allowed under any circumstances. By the way, if I add any value, please smash that like button. It's the way YouTube takes care of us. Okay, rule number 2 kind of goes without saying, but I have to say it. Don't SUP surf at a break that's beyond your personal abilities, period. Rule number 3 is respect the lineup. What does that mean, respect the lineup? That means when you get out there, don't just take the first wave that comes your way. You go out there, you size up the situation, you let a few waves pass before you even think about jumping on your wave. Rule number 4, do not shoulder hop or snake. That means if you're gonna catch a wave, you take it from the peak. Peak has the priority. Do not shoulder hop, do not snake, which means you don't hop on the wave when somebody else has already caught the peak. Hope that makes sense. Rule number 5, if you get called out in the lineup for breaking one of the rules or for doing something that another local surfer finds inappropriate, your best bet is to be humble, to be respectful, to acknowledge, don't do it again, and consider leaving that break. All right, tip number 6 for surfing a SUP in Hawaii is check your equipment. I've seen this happen before. Leashes break because they weren't properly tied on or there was a frayed edge. Check your equipment to make sure that it is in proper working order. All right, number 7. If you get whistled off a wave, that's typically how they do it here. You just basically will hear this whistling somewhere. My recommendation is get off that wave as fast as you can. Simply pop up over the top of the wave, kick out, wait for the next one. That means you've probably shoulder hop or snake somebody and they're politely letting you know, get off my wave, and I would do that. Number 8, if you do end up talking to somebody in the lineup, I would not throw down any kind of pigeon. If you've learned some on maybe Andy Bumatai's, you know, daily pigeon or something like that. I don't even know if I'd throw like a abra out there. I would just simply stick to your native tongue, be true to yourself, but don't get yourself in a deeper hole by all of a sudden speaking a language that you know nothing about and will probably just offend them. Tip number 10, this is a big one. when you finally decide to take that wave and you're at the peak and it's your wave, you command that wave and you take it. No questions asked, you go. And then you absolutely ride that wave the best that you can, because they are watching to see if you can rip at all, or if you have any ability. If you get done with that wave and someone says to you, hey buddy, you don't belong here, it's time to go. And also, if you turn on a wave, you better commit to taking it. Because basically when you turn on a wave, that means that they're not going to take that wave, and if you waste it because you can't make it, then that's not going to make anybody happy. So if you turn on a wave, you make that wave and you rip on it as hard as you can. And that will start the process of getting some respect from the local Hawaiian crew. My name is Eric West with hawaiirealestate.org. I'd love to hear your comments, suggestions, feedback on what you have found to be the best rules to follow on a Hawaiian surf break. And certainly you prone surfers out there, I'd love to hear your perspective. Aloha, mahalo. Yeah, aloha. My name is Eric West, and my passion is stand-up paddleboard surfing. I've actually been doing it every day for about the last 7.5 years here in Hawaii. And I'd just like to share with you everything that I've learned in hopes of helping you accelerate your learning curve. That's hilarious. I fell off my paddleboard during the intro to the video. That's funny. If someone you know is looking to buy or sell real estate in the state of Hawaii, send them my way. I promise I'll show it to them through the paradise glasses. My website, hawaiirealestate.org. Mahalo.